Please welcome Hanno Jarvet.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to talk about killing Agile. I went to high school in Stockholm, Sweden. I went to the German school of Stockholm. We had a problem in our senior year. The girls, I am presuming it was the girls, kept painting their lips and kissing the mirror in the ladies' room, like this. Still, I'm presuming it was the girls, but there has never been any proof. This caused a problem for the school. It was a disturbance. The janitors needed to work extra hard. So the teachers decided we need to do something. They told all the girls in the suspicious age group, ladies, it was forbidden then, it is forbidden now. Stop kissing the mirrors. Nothing happened. They went back to the drawing board and came up, hey, we really need to put ourselves in the shoes of these girls and think like a teenager. And they came up with a better plan. Said, girls, new thing, this kissing the mirrors thing, not the cool, not a smart move for you. Please stop doing it. Look at all the good girls. Will you have a good future in life? Kissing mirrors will get you nowhere. Nothing happened, same thing. Then the headmaster, Herr Dr. Franz Josef Schott, gathered a group of people into the scene of the crime, into the girls' room. And there, together with the janitor, Miss Hellemeyer, they had a short moment. Said, welcome all the girls. We have something to tell you today. You painting your lips and kissing the mirror is a problem for the janitor. Please stop. So, Miss Hellemeyer, would you please show how much time it takes for you to clean the mirror? So Miss Hellemeyer takes the sponge, dips it in the toilet, like this, makes it wet, and goes and starts cleaning the mirror. I don't know, I wasn't invited, but I guess some eyes were opened. Next week, no more kissing of the mirror. Folks, if there's one thing you want to learn about change management, there is only one way that works. If you want compliance and not simply commitment, you have to appeal to the other person's rational self-interest. That's it. There are two other ways of working. Number one is through coercion. You tell them it is forbidden. Like there's a sign on the door at the moment, it is forbidden to use pirate downloads because it will do some bad things and it's illegal and so and so and so and so. It is forbidden to smoke indoors. It is forbidden to not put on your seatbelt in the back seat. It is forbidden to drink and drive, do many other things. Very popular in certain places. You work and address people's behavior, nothing more. Method number two is through normative pressure. That's how we hook kids up to smoking. Look, all the cool kids are smoking. You want to be a cool kid? Start smoking. And many kids at least try it. So normative pressure can be used as a good tool. If I want to change the culture of a company, I go and look at their avatars, at their role models, who actually get things done, who get ahead, and try to change and influence their behavior through rational self-interest. That will get me further ahead. Although this will also simply help you get compliance. You will not get commitment. The only way to get commitment from other people, unless you have a big something or big parts of your body, depending if you're a boy or a girl, you will only get commitment through rational self-interest. Where I'm from, Tallinn, Estonia, our men tend to die young. They don't live very long. And we have been telling them, don't eat fatty foods, don't drink and do risky stuff. Estonian men tend to have a couple of beers and then they want to prove that they are bulletproof, they are good looking, they can sing really well, they get into fights like Superman, they can drive any kind of motor vehicles and many of those things. Turns out it's not true, but the Estonian men are slow to pick it up. We have quite a low life expectancy because of that. And it will not change until we start telling them that, do you want to see your grandchildren? Do you want to live a long and healthy life? This might happen sometime in the future. So my first point of the day, any kind of change you want to make, kill Agile, bring in Agile, introduce people to better ways of life. The only thing that will stick around, and I do not know how to kill, is through rational self-interest. Today's talk about killing Agile. What is Agile? Agile is a way of doing certain things. It's currently in vogue. It's all the rage in software development. It wasn't always so. It came about when, in corporate America, projects in software development lasted for 2 to 5 years. And they began with a great hoopla, 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 a lot of work. In 2 to 5 years, something came back. This was not what we wanted. You must be stupid. Therefore, we will replace you with other gentlemen. And they will do the same song and dance for 2 to 5 years. Same story. And everyone gets frustrated with that. So there's a group of middle-aged white men say, this sucks, so we sucks. We suck as well, but we don't like to suck, so let's do something about it. They gather in a lodge. They call it the Lightweight Methods Conference. They bang their heads against the wall and come up with the 4 principles. The 4 principles of Agile. We value, and Vasco, I heard some people aren't familiar with the concept, so let me repeat it here. We value working software over lengthy, verbose. There's some other word, documentation. We value individuals and interactions over processes and tools. We value customer collaboration over contract negotiation. And there's a 4th. What's that? Responding to change over following a plan. Thank you very much. Sir, if you are around later in the evening, I will buy you a beer. The beers are free, right? No. Right. Must remember to avoid you later. Plans are a good thing, or at least the country I was born in thought so. Soviet Union was all about 5-year plans, and also executing the 5-year plan in 3 years, if possible. Last year, I celebrated the 30th anniversary of the death of Leonid Brezhnev, the guy famous for running on batteries, because at the end, you couldn't really make out what he was saying or doing. His famous move for opening the Olympic Games 1980 was this, and this was about the limit that he could fulfill. And then he did this again. Central planning didn't work really well because it had 4 major faults. It was summer, spring, autumn, and winter. And they always came as a shock and a surprise to everyone. There was also a 5th enemy called the international imperialism, but that was, you could more or less take that into account. You could kind of deal with that. So killing Agile. How can we say when something is Agile or is not Agile? In Estonia, we have this very rapid way of implementing Agile. First step, put up on your website, we are Agile. Step 2, go back to step 1 if you haven't done it. So the question, are you Agile? Can I kill Agile in that company? Makes no actual sense. Agile has technical practices, some more general practices. And it's very context dependent. So it is different how you want to destroy it. I'm not saying that you should destroy it. But in case you want to, I'll give you certain methods how to do it, what I've found useful for me in the past. By the way, attaching your self-worth to any kind of methodology instead of your output to life will put you at risk because you are too tied up in something which is not your real contribution to the world. More about that later. I heard twice today that common sense is a bad thing. I would like to claim the title. I want to be Mr. Common Sense. I love common sense. There's not so much of it in the world. Most of my consulting work is done through common sense, if possible. Otherwise, I'll go into methodology and waste my own time in doing it. So, if I want to kill Agile, and it's all about the 4 principles, I simply take away the principles. Let's say I start talking to people that we need more documentation. We cannot simply proceed because we are business critical, mission critical, or we are adults and we are software professionals. Let's do more of this or that. If I want to destroy Agile from further away, I'll tell them that we need more documentation, at least some trail of papers. Documentation also how code and actual things are done. Then, if I simply want less interaction between the people, I can come up with other ideas. If I want to destroy Agile through responding to plan, I simply tell people either to have much more planning or have no planning at all. Let's do cowboy Agile instead. If I look at the middle-aged white men that signed the Agile Manifesto 11 years later, if you look at their videos, and the last question is, where do you see Agile going in the future, in the next 10 years? And many of them say that we now see it did its business in IT, now we need to step over to business. This to me seems like a big, big risk. You cannot kill Agile because it helps the engineers to do their job better. But at least you can make it irrelevant because it has no actual meaning in the business world. If there's a division between business and IT, if it's not one and the same thing. So what I'm talking about here is change management. Some people say change is hard. I'm here to tell you the opposite. Change is easy. Change is quick. Whether you should consider change is a totally different matter. Heraclitus said 2,000 years ago, the only constant in life is change. You can, for example, stick wings on a goat and kick it out of a plane. You will only get a very angry goat. You will not get a flying goat for long. Same thing with Agile. You can make anything Agile, more or less, but should you is another question. That's for you to address. There are many different models for change management. You can use Elisabeth Kubler's Ross death, 5 stages of grief model. Then there's the Satir model, which has this chaos and some stuff happens, and then there's status quo, stuff happens, then there's chaos, then you integrate this stuff, and then you reach a new level. Then there's the McLellan's unfreezing, doing some stuff, and freezing model. Then there's John Kotter's 8-step model. I favor the Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step model because at least it has one good point in it. It's the prayer of the Alcoholics Anonymous. Are you familiar with that? Has 3 points. Lord, please give me the strength to change the things I can. Give me the patience to live with the things I cannot change. And give me the wisdom to tell the two apart. I am here to tell you that being a victim or an agilist inside a company is your own choice, and it will not help you. You can either change your company, love your company, or leave your company. Many projects I have done, after that, people have left the company. Some of my customers have been fired from their companies. Added transparency that Agile brings to life isn't always welcome by all parties involved. This is where rational self-interest comes in again. On the other hand, when I talk to companies that, hey, by the way, we got rid of some of your people, some of those left, you must really not like me now, or so on. If I even confuse that getting results and being liked, those two things are totally different. So no, we're quite happy because we were able to identify the root cause of all these issues that otherwise kept nagging us. Context is king. Agile and systems and cultures are very different for a small web company, small startup, an old telco, old bank, old medical device company. Some people have mentioned Germany and Southern Europe many times during the day. Yes, there are local flavors, absolutely, that you need to take into account. There's also this movement inside the Agile world sometimes, and the movement is management is stupid. It takes other variations. But it's also that we need to bring them along as well. We need to revolutionize management. There's management 3.0, 7.0, and management, oh ho ho. I got news for you. Management is not interested in being changed. They're doing just fine, and there's nothing we can do about it. And the thing I'm here to tell you is that there's nothing you should do about it. I've been a complainer myself when I said, well, if only I could, but management won't let me, or my wife won't let me, or other issues beside my control. It's simple for me to say to simply man up and go away, found your own company then. It's not that simple, but I'm saying it can be done. I'm not either saying it should be done. How many of you have been to the Turku Agile Day here previously? Raise your hand. Hello. Keep it up. More than 50% of repeat visitors. In Agile Estonia, we have a lot less. Keep your hand up if you've been here twice or more. 3 times or more. Thank you very much. Now there's a quarter of the people. I enjoy speaking at Agile events because I get to address engineers. Engineers are lifelong learners. They are interested in improving their ways. Management, not so much. And neither should you care. Not your problem. You can make that your problem, but you'd simply be wasting your time. So let's go start killing Agile and show what I mean by doing it in different contexts. Here's a picture. Who's seen this before? Here we go. This is Meri Popendik's material. He uses it from Henrik Kniberg. This is, for all intents and purposes, a Swedish gaming company. Wink, wink. I will tell you the good story, and then I will tell you the real story. This also says what the difference is between Agile and Lean. The Swedish gaming company has a problem because its lead times are too long. So the way it came about, there had been some consulting in the development phase. For 2.5 years, they were doing some Agile stuff. Maybe that rugby stuff, maybe some of that driven testing stuff. The CEO doesn't know. Something is going on. He doesn't see a lot of improvement. A lot of people are now happier than they used to be, but nothing new for him. He says it still takes too long. Now the textbook story is that everyone gathers in a room and they draw up something called a value stream. First, how things are done in the real life, and then how much of it is value-added time. We're doing a value stream mapping and a process improvement exercise in order to point out that we have too much stuff at the same time. There's too much work in progress. There are too many silos, and not good things are happening. They say that big part of the developers are about to leave. Our revenue is down, our quality is low, and the games we are coming out with, they suck too much, and we want to become better. So up there, you see what the process looks like, and the blue numbers show you the actual time, and below there, you see the value-added time. So you do a calculation, and the cycle efficiency is 12%. So they come up with a good strategy. The strategy involves 3 steps. They will have cross-functional teams. They estimate that this will bring down the development time by 50%. They will include some of the developers in the ideation phase, so they will be more motivated and will come up with better games. And key to all of it is they will limit their work in progress. They will limit their work in progress only to capacity. As much as they're willing and able to do at one time, they will do just that. So they will abandon games sooner. So instead of 2.5 years, they'll now do something in 6 months. And this would be reasonable. It struck me as odd. How can a company still exist in the open market that operates like this? It takes them 2.5 years to come up with a game when it could take them simply 6 months. Now the moral of the story is it's not actually a Swedish gaming company. It's a company that operates in a monopolized, closed environment. So let's look at the rational self-interest. Yeah, this looks good. We can all do better. We'll get more money. Yes, 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 yes. Good stuff. And here's where the story ends. And this tells you how Lean is different from Agile. You simply don't focus on the development part because sub-optimizing a system will simply slow down the whole system. It's pointless. You'll be wasting your time and also your customers' time. The real story is that The VPs there are political soldiers. Someone taking a leave of absence from politics, getting into a cushy job. It's not in their self-interest to have faster delivery or a higher revenue. They have other priorities in life. So what really happened, took about 6 months to make this into an improved state. Something started happening, yes, 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 yes. And then about 6 months to kill it. They said, no, we need to work on more things at the same time. And last time I heard a colleague went there a couple of years ago, he saw a PMI Gantt chart with 42 simultaneous projects up on the wall, showing them all the different colors and numbers, transparency, measurability, cycle time, all these fancy things. And it all grinded to a halt. It's an excellent way of showing how you can kill whatever you call agile. So the key is to understand what is my limit of influence. I remember talking to J.D. Reinsberger, the TDD guy. He said that sometimes he's also hesitant. He's called back to the company to teach them something he taught them 5 years ago. But all the people that have learned it have left. They begin with doing TDD in their small, dry, warm corner of the world. Then they expand to the whole room, then maybe to 2, 3 rooms, and then they jump up against the organizational immune system, and they're killed. So they choose to go away where they can do their driven testing kind of thing. I'm trying to provoke you. It's not driven testing, it's definitely driven testing, right, Vasco? I'm a technical kind of guy, but I haven't yet discovered how to do it. Sun Tzu, the man who allegedly wrote The Art of War, says the natural formation of the land is the best enemy of the soldier. This means that you have to use the natural advantages to your benefit, not to your enemy's benefit. Same thing with killing agile. You have to take a systems view of whatever is in front of you in order to gain leverage over it. I will talk about a couple of the methods in a while. Let me address what is the lay of the land or the country. These are things such as culture, organization chart, business processes, personal relations, and in many ways, the organizational immune system. My next point, good management kills companies through killing innovation. Nokia, prime example. Clayton Christensen and Geoffrey Moore have written extensively about it. Let me give you an example how disruptive innovation works. Disruptive innovation is that you come up with a product that's not being used today, and it takes over the market. IBM is a prime example of that. I remember a time when I watched Finnish TV that they kept talking about these things called mainframe computers on Miami Vice. This was a good time for mainframe computers and IBM. There were many other companies providing mainframes. Those companies are no longer around because something else came along called mini computers. Many companies provided mini computers, among them IBM. Then something came along called the PCs. Took out all the mini computer market again. IBM has been able to stick around in doing it through setting up subsidiaries, other companies who are independent of them, that don't have the same business processes. Otherwise, they will be killed. Good management is trained to look at the coming quarter, the next quarter, and this year. Innovations such as this will probably not pay off. So having the current focus on revenue, on short term, will probably kill it. I think Nokia got an iPhone in the same week it came out. So they had all the information. But they asked, there is no market for it. It looks ridiculous. We are not worried. At first, when the innovative competitor comes to market, it looks like a toy. And it's addressing some need that you don't have on the market. But it evolves, and takes over all of your market. In the US, there used to be general stores in every small town. Those general stores were driven out by the railway and the Sears catalog. Later on, department stores took over. There were 269 national department stores at one time in the US. After that, something came out called specialty retailers. Now there are only 9 national department stores in the US. One of them was smart enough to found an outside competitor to themselves. It's called Target. This is the way technological innovation works. If you are in your company, and some companies are immune to it, that have no technological core, such as hotels, catering, many other services such as this. But if you're able to understand where your company is headed and whether it's also open to this kind of innovation, you will be able to understand the future of your company better. And this kind of good management can help you if you want to kill Agile or any other new way of doing things, because you're introducing uncertainty, you're introducing bad news for at least some time. I've heard of, and I've been to several companies that have done a what you call a transformation. It isn't always pretty, and the people there probably aren't the ones that began it anyway. This is quite natural, and if you would want to kill Agile, it would be better to stop it for you. I'll give you some more tips how to do it. Let's go into more detail here. I was planning to do this without slides, but then it hit me that maybe some people don't know what those methods are. This is how to kill lean. These are the principles of lean. Good management, for example, is what kept Sony from coming up with the iPod. They had all the electronic knowledge. They had access to the best designers, engineers, even to some of the content, but they couldn't do it because they were working in silos. Steve Jobs found people not working together and cooperating. He fired them. So the people would be working across the so-called silos. If I want to kill lean, I will go back to measuring people in their own silos. HR does this, development does this, then analysis does that, and there are clear handovers. I would like to add in more handovers. I would also like to manipulate people with some sort of pay for performance scheme so that I can pit them against each other. I would like to add in more bonuses so that on each level, whatever you achieve in a team, you are individually motivated to achieve something, so that I have more KPIs and transparency into whatever is happening. Then I might even measure lines of code amount or function points. Something that sounds really logical and measurable to me in the name of transparency would be a good thing how to kill lean. Then I would go on a spree of sub-optimization. I would work with the technical practices and technical practices only, but keep the business people away. I would locate the customer further away from the development people. I would come up with product owners. You know, the Scrum thing. Scrum is a dysfunctional methodology to help dysfunctional organizations. So I would not help the developers think for themselves, but I would simply tell them that product owner says, you do. If you don't have access to a product owner, then talk to maybe a proxy product owner such as this. I know of a bank operating in Estonia that used to have 3 people between the business person and the developer. The business person would talk to a business analyst who would, in that case, then do this and talk to a business IT analyst. And there would be more thinking, more writing, more signing of documents, dunka, dunka, dunka. Then they would jump over a wall into the IT department. And in there would be an IT analyst talking to a business IT analyst. And in this IT analyst would then go and talk to the developer. So imagine how much information gets lost. 60% of tacit information gets lost, at every step. There isn't much left. It's an excellent way of demoting the developer, or the other parts as well, slowing the system down, and all in the name of transparency, control, predictability, and cost cutting, or cost efficiency. That's the right word for it. Eliminate waste. I would make it really fuzzy what waste is. I wouldn't give everyone an understanding what is waste. I would, for example, say that you need to be at work 100%, work on work-related issues only, none of this side stuff. You're a programmer, do the programming stuff, right? You are measured by how much code you deliver. So I would tell him that waste is not, well, the waste is an unhappy customer. But I would simply do as you are told. This would be much better. Amplify learning. Someone would make a mistake, I would help them hide it. Empower the team. Separate motivation schemes for all people on the team. Everyone gets individual motivation. Build integrity in. This is about quality. So I would say there's bugs, don't stop for them. We need to go fast, fast, fast. We need to deliver something up in the air. Later on, when you get the time for it, there's a list of bugs, we'll start fixing them. This driven testing thing, not so smart. Decide as late as possible. No, I want upfront plans, at least with options. They all need to be there. Best way of killing lean or killing any change initiative is to give it a name. If you don't tell people we're going agile, we're going lean, they have nothing to resist. Otherwise, you tell them, now we're doing this. All right. In big organizations, there's a major change initiative at least once a year. You go on a business trip for 7 days, you come back, what? Where's my chair? What happened to the office? Where is everybody? Who are you people? In some, it happens twice a year. You get a new boss who says, everything was wrong, let's begin again. Totally new thing, people. We need to also standardize across departments. Everyone will get a testing manual that's harmonized for everybody. Wait for it. It will arrive by mail in 2 weeks. Don't do anything before that. Killing Scrum. If I cannot do anything to kill Scrum, I enter a company and I want to be really devious about it, I get rid of the retrospectives. After that, the whole thing falls apart, more or less. If I cannot get away by taking away all the retrospectives immediately anyway, then I'll start to make them really bad. Let's come up with 16 change improvements that I will track in a spreadsheet somewhere. Let's come up with good ideas that are outside of our grasp. Let's simply give other people problems, not solutions, and so on and so on. Or simply then not help the team go through an honest phase of giving each other feedback. Weak definition of done. I would tell we're in a hurry, we need to deliver something. This is probably done, isn't it? I would build up the debt, the technical debt, as much as possible. Certain companies have come to realize that they need product managers instead of project managers. The point is this. A project manager's goal in life is to get promoted by delivering on-time spec quality and within budget. And the quality part then gets hidden away just a bit. And this increases the likelihood of bad stuff happening down the road because you're simply hiding risk. So if you don't have people with a long-term view, it will hurt the company probably in the future. But I would reward people for delivering stuff on time. This can be, of course, mitigated if the people are smart, as you, Vasco, told earlier, that simply make the story smaller, haha, and nothing happens. Long backlog. Backlogs are evil. People, backlogs are evil. Backlogs are the same as inventory, physical inventory, because they're half-done work. And half-done work and inventory kills companies. Inventory goes out of date, gets lost, goes bad, slows the whole works down. So I would train people in backlog grooming, backlog management, and long planning ahead. and keeping separate backlogs for separate places. I would also tell people, hey, let's evaluate the best software for having this transparency inside the company. Is it Jira, or is it someone else or something else? Let's not actually talk to each other and have conversations. Let's have it there on the interweb somewhere so that all people can see and have transparency. Plus, we're not co-located, so we need to be there on the internet, and this is a good place to have. Scrum Master is the product owner. That's the most popular thing, that the person tells you what to do, also tells you how to do it. It's a good way of killing motivation, innovation, and hiding risk. Use Scrum where it adds no value. Yes, my company is very agile. We are doing Scrum. But you're doing maintenance for ERP systems. But Scrum is the right way to go, right? That's not probably what the teams think. They think that this process doesn't fit our needs. There are too many ceremonies, too many masters and belts and points and things and plans. We don't have time for that. We need to deliver something later today. When the first Scrum sprint was introduced, it lasted for 6 weeks because the guys thought, okay, to go from 2 years to 2 weeks, no one's ever going to buy it. They're going to think we're on crack cocaine. So let's go for 6 weeks, right? The management buys it, they start it. Today, when you're doing 4-week sprints, I would ask you, why are you doing vintage Scrum? Vintage Scrum is good. What other old artifacts do you have? Killing Kanban. Kanban, popular word. Stuff up on the wall, you move it around. Left and right. Some of it falls off because the sticky note doesn't stick to the wall. This is Kanban. Good way to kill Kanban is not to limit work in progress. This means you simply have stuff on the wall, but don't do anything about it. Unless you start limiting the different columns, what is our capacity? How many things can we handle at the same time? This is not Kanban, and this adds no value. If you don't visualize what you have, you put something up that probably is the way it is, but you don't honestly use it for doing anything, then you're not adding visualization. Good way to kill transparency and visualization is to start taking in people who have nothing to do with the thing and give them access and ability to micromanage or ask the wrong kinds of questions so that they can come in and feel that they are powerful or build silos or try to manage something really well. Improve collaboratively using models and scientific method. This I can kill by telling people, I've been in this business for a long time, this data that you have, it's not correct, it's not right, we shouldn't really use it, or we shouldn't really stop talking about the statistical process control analysis. It works on the factory floor, but not with actual humans in this place over here. Put on your green belt and go do something else. Some more case studies. As I said, the only way to get people to change is through appealing to their rational self-interest. I know of an Estonian telco provider. No, they provide to the telco. So they're a software developer that used to work with a Scandinavian telecom manufacturer that goes unnamed and resides probably somewhere in Sweden. They used to do 3 times 9 months. First 9 months, they scope things out. They argue about what needs to be done. 9 months, they do things. And then the last 9 months, they spend on arguing what needs to be done again, and who is to blame, and why it's not done this way and that way. They have now moved to 3-week sprints. Even if I had the hammer and I were a really good-looking guy, I could not get them to change. Their CEO loves it, their customer loves it, the people love it. I have no idea how to get Agile out of that house, even if I tried. If you have a common understanding why this stuff is good for us, it's really, really hard to kill. There's a story about a company that started building a team Let's begin with this Agile adoption. There's a group of about 20 developers here, some analysts as well, some testers. Let's train them in all the Agile methods. Let's put them all through the good certification and training we've seen elsewhere. And we'll increase the team and also build that part. This company did not involve their business stakeholders in understanding why this new certification movement was a good thing, what the actual benefit was. And some people changed, and all of this idea got thrown out. Happens often. I don't mind. I'm simply here to tell you that you are the masters of your fate, and you are the captains of your soul. You are the ones that get to decide what you want to do, whether you love, change, or leave this company. The change thing should be tried, just for a laugh even, I could say. But if Nokia has decided that this is the way it's going to go, it's the equivalent of you jumping next to MS Mariella or Silja Europa and trying to move the ship. It's not going to happen. You can even climb up onto the ship and talk to the restaurant manager and the engineering person, but until you can reach the captain and say that what we are doing isn't simply right. Because of these and these reasons, nothing is ever going to happen. The good way to get business people to follow you along is to have data to back up your stuff. And the data should be in some form that they are interested in. There's a famous story about how Amazon came up with bought together. You buy one Led Zeppelin album, they recommend another Led Zeppelin album to you. It came out of the development department of one guy, came up with the idea, went to the, let's say, product owner and said, we need to put these things together, display these things. And the marketing executive said, no, I've been in marketing for 56 years, in IT marketing or blah, blah marketing for 7 years. This will not work. This is stupid. People are in the checkout process. We need to not disturb them, but get them through as fast as possible, then back as fast as possible. But they decided to do an experiment. The experiment was wildly successful, and currently it's considered the industry standard. If you can get people to go along with you on experiments, this might help you. But I'm definitely the one person here to tell you that, first of all, congratulations on investing in your own education and your own future. Everyone else in your company isn't doing it the same way. So it's time to understand when it's time to go. Sometimes the time has come, sometimes it hasn't come. But working against people instead of appealing to their rational self-interest will probably not help you. I would like to take a few questions. I'm aware this is a Finnish audience. There won't be too many. Same in Estonia. And after that, I will wrap up. So either speak now or come and talk to me afterwards. I'm weak in telepathy. You'll have to speak up louder. I'll give them about 5 minutes, right? Thank you for all the good questions. How many of you, by the way, do not speak Finnish? Raise your hand. One person, 2, 3, 4 people. 5? Oh, come on. Really? You don't speak Finnish? Okay. 5 people out of everyone here. I would like to thank you for your excellent hospitality. You could have done this whole thing in Finnish in most of the times. Would have been an excellent thing. I don't know why you do it in English. Thank you for giving us, everyone, an opportunity to do that. Killing an Agile. I hope you do it. I hope you revert away from a methodology to actual business thinking and make yourself useful for your company and for yourself. Agile is a way of doing things. It is not the only way of doing things. Improving your own condition is a magnificent way of life. I'm proud to be on this journey with you and looking for self-improvement. And I hope now for the best part of the conference, the dinner, right? Mhm. Thank you.
We have something little for you. Towel, some coffee, and t-shirt.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's time to start wrapping things up. I've had a great time today, even though I missed the first few lectures arranging things. But who of you have learned something today? Hands up. Pretty much everybody. That's a relief. And most importantly, who has had fun today? Excellent. And remember to give us feedback. There will be feedback forms on the info desk and a box where to put those. We would appreciate if you left feedback so we can better this conference for the next year. And also, if you are in Turku area, there is a Turku Software Craftsmanship open table every second Tuesday every month. Google it up and take part. There will be interesting discussions about software development. And I guess the most important stuff when you leave, there will be buses at 4:30 and 5 leaving from outside the venue. They go first to the Hamburger Börs Hotel and then to the Marina Palace. So if you're going that way, please take the bus. The dinner starts at 7. The doors open at 6:30, so please arrive at your own time. Also, if you're tweeting, still the real hashtag is TAD013. Sorry, Vasco. And yeah, please tweet as much as possible. It's always nice to see some interesting things in our tweets. Yeah, question.
Remember to mention that you have got a bus going to Helsinki.
Yeah, true that. We have. It's also the info can be found on our website, but the bus leaves at 10 p.m. from the dinner place. Yeah, it's free, of course. Sponsored by Agile Finland. I'd like to have all our staff and assistants here on stage, please. And while they are gathering up, I would like to thank our great sponsors for making or enabling us to make this great conference. Also, a big hand to our speakers, please. And I would personally like to thank you for this whole crew of doing awesome work. There's some old guys, some new girls. It's been really awesome to do this conference with you. So I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And I guess the buses leave at 4:30, so I hope I'll see you on conference dinner later tonight.
Thank you. So we have something for you, Ville. So there is a small gift for you. We hope that you like it. Enjoy.
Sorry, please. For once again, I forgot something. We still have some prizes to deliver. Who stole my coffees? Oh, they're here. So we had the great guys from Cafe Art today and yesterday arranging us excellent coffees, and we would like to give out some of their products now. We have, or someone has been the lady luck and picked out some names, and if you would please come down and take your prize. First up is Marko Barry from Lindorf, Finland. And the next one, Lasse Helakoski, also from Lindorf. If he's not present, we will get another name. Pirjo Hintsanen from IF. And then we have Tapio Järvenpää. He's not here. We'll pick another name. Lauri Junkkari. It seems that everyone has left already. Kimmo Kasurinen. Okay, great, he's here. Next up is Antti Koski. Yeah, you're here too, great. And Matti Lehtinen. Minna Puumala. Kari Söderholm. And last but not least, Johannes Virtanen. I guess that's it. I'll see you at dinner.